Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep it down?
Welcome back to Black Gun. Today we're going to be talking about a really interesting pistol with a lot of unique characteristics. It is the STEYR M9 A2 not exactly. It is the MF, standing for modular frame pistol. Believe it or not, just to give you a little bit of history, everybody thinks that Sig Sauer was the company that created that modular frame pistol that we're also familiar with in the M17, M18 series pistol, when in fact it was STEYR that actually had produced a modular frame pistol. The only difference was that they did not put the serial number on the fire control unit. They had it on the plastic frame instead. And what they did was re-engineer this weapon where the serial number now is on the fire control unit proper. One of the most interesting characteristics to this firearm are the trapezoidal sights. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to bring it up here. If I can get my cameraman, you can, just zoom in to show them. This triangulation is pretty unique to STEYR. Now, the reason why they designed that is they had done a study, or there was a study stating that the human eye picks up these trapezoidal figures a lot faster than they do the our traditional square style sights. So they created this. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, STEYR, being Austrian, has the same type of German engineering that you're familiar with and that you love, like H&K and Walther. The engineering is impeccable. They're right out of the box and on paper. This weapon is pretty amazing. It's your standard tilting block John Browning design, just like most other pistols. It has a plastic guide rod. This particular pistol's 9mm. I don't think they're making them in 40 Smith yet, or if they have plans, I don't know. It also has the same type of trigger that Glock does, so you have that built-in safety that's in the center here. So if you drop the weapon or it gets thrown about, the trigger's not going to be activated by gravity or any type of blunt force, that would be executed on the weapon accidentally or intentionally, for that matter. Other than that, it's pretty basic. It disassembles the same way. You want to press this button down, and this little lever here, which I know that I'm having a difficult time getting it, pushes it. You push the slide forward, pull the trigger like you do with the Glock, and it comes off. Now, what I will tell you is you do not want to run this weapon dry. What I noticed when I took it out of the box and initially fired one of these models, it would hang up and it wouldn't go into battery. So, before you shoot the gun, disassemble it, get a little bit of lube on this weapon, and it should function for you pretty good. Assembly is pretty easy. Back, rack, and the little lever just slides right up, right up into the notch. And then this little push button thing here, listen to me thingy, your little activating button here, you have to push in order to, to release that lever and disassemble it. So the gun's design is pretty amazing. We're going to shoot it a little bit today, see how she shoots pretty quickly, so you guys would have an understanding, and we'll see how these trapezoidal sights work. I needed to take a little moment to disassemble the weapon again and throw a little bit of lubricant on here, so we didn't have that problem that I was talking about, for the duration of the video. So since we're in warm and wonderful Western Pennsylvania on a beautiful March day, about 55 degrees and raining, I guess sunglasses would be the appropriate eye protection for the day. And we'll load this up. First thing we're going to do here at about 15 yards we're going to throw a group out, see how these trapezoidal sights work, see if we can get it point of center, or see where, where our groupings are going to land. So let's get this rolling without much ado, and we'll throw a 5-round group up here, center mass. Okay, so if you want to come up, we'll take a look and see how a 5-round group. Now I'll tell you what, it's shooting a little to the left is probably me. I have a tendency, I don't know what the heck it is, I'm always about a ½ inch off to the left. But point of aim, I'm aiming here about 15 yards. So she seems to be pretty much point of aim and not a 3 o'clock hold. Or a 3 o'clock hold, listen to me, a 6 o'clock hold. You have a lot of weapons that are 6 o'clock hold where you're aiming right below your point of aim. And then you have a set of weapons that are point of aim. I'm aiming here. I would say that this weapon's point of aim and not 6 o'clock hold. The trigger feels a little blocky, to be honest with you. We'll run it through and see if we could do some drills and hit some metal here, see how the gun works, and then we'll do a magazine exchange. What I don't like about the weapon, I'm going to tell you right away, is that the magazine release is not ambidextrous. So we don't have it on this side, it's on this side. I believe that you can reverse it if you're left-handed and you want it on this side. Also note that the slide release is not ambidextrous. The weapon's predominantly set up for a right-hand shooter. For me, it's going to be okay, but you lefties out there, you'll probably be able to get the magazine release switched over pretty easily, but you're going to be stuck with a slide release on one side. So you're going to have to use your gross motor skills instead of fine motor skills in order to bring the gun back into battery if you're going to do a magazine exchange, or when the weapon runs dry. But other than that, let's walk back and we'll run this through a little bit and see and see what we can do. We're not going to push out too far. We'll start here, shoot a couple of these in the rear, come over here, do a magazine exchange, and then we'll talk about performance. Okay, it's out of battery once. So we'll come back in. Magazine exchange, come across. I'll tell you, make sure this weapon's safe. Okay, my general impression, it shoots pretty basic. I did come out here cold, shooting a little bit at the distance here. I was healing the weapon a little bit and pushing around a little high. The trigger pull, it's pretty limited on creep and it's pretty flat. You don't have any serrations here. It'll take a little bit to get used to because, it is so wide. It's a little wider than a traditional trigger, but everything's pretty tight. What I do like about the weapon, and this is first impression, is that the way that the grip is designed, you get real high on this beaver tail. To get your natural grip alignment is very, very easy on this weapon. When you're coming in, you're grabbing it, and you come back up on gun, she's pretty good. She's pretty tight. I really like that. I don't know if I like the sights. They're unique. I had a real hard time getting on target. Up top is quickly, down low, pretty much no problem whatsoever. Picking up the trapezoidal sights seemed to work for me. But as far as doing some fine shooting, getting out to a distance here where marksmanship becomes paramount, I was having a hard time putting them together. Now, this isn't to say that the sights are awful for that. I don't have much time behind this weapon to familiarize myself. So it's one of those things where up close, these trapezoidal sights are pretty deadly. Getting out to a distance, you really have to fine tune what you're doing. But overall, I think the weapon is pretty nice. I think it's worth the purchase. I think you're going to get a quality gun for the money. This is one of these weapons that are a little over $500, so they're really not going to put you in the poorhouse. And I think that you're getting a champagne gun on a beer budget price. And the trapezoidal sights are definitely unique. Would I add this to my collection? Most certainly. Would I use it on the job? I think I'd have to get a little more time behind this weapon in order to make a decision like that. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you at the gun range.
How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open.